you when things happen, when they have that success story. They will remember you, you know, if they didn't do right, past 21, beyond 25, they will call back and say, this is what you did to me. This is how you made me feel. I thank you for it, you know, so.
Do you think work was a priority for you at 19 or 20 years old? And the second question is, how long did it take for you to find your passion?
Well, for me, work was a priority. I was a teen mother, so I had to do what I needed to do to take care of my daughter. It was crazy and ironic how I got the job. You know, I was actually just delivered a couple of days. I was at my foster mom home because, of course, I didn't know how to take care of kids, so I felt like I needed to go back so she can give me some initial tools and stuff to take care of my child. So I just happened to answer the phone, you know, and someone said, you want a job with DCFS as a youth worker? And I'm like, yeah, but I just kind of had my baby. And they were like, well, if you want a job, be here in 2 weeks. Be here at this time. And I was just like, wow, you know, like by chance, you know, this is not even my current number. I don't even live here. But they reached out to me. And like I said, I needed it. I wanted it. I had to, you know, I had my daughter to take care of. And it worked for me. But once I got in, you know, I'm 19, you know, of course, I don't know what I'm doing. You know, DCFS was my third job. You know, I'm like, okay. But I did come, I work with a lot of kids. I mean, I work with a lot of support staff. I work with a lot of just co-workers in DCFS that to help me grow, you know. There's so many names, I can't name all of them, but I'm gonna name one, Barbara Kelly. She's at the Lakewood office. You know, she's awesome. I didn't know how to dress for DCFS. I didn't know what to do, how to be. And you know, she was just like, if you come in here with another sweatsuit on again, I'm gonna send you home. And I was just like, okay, but what you want me to wear, you know? But from there on, you know, she just kind of followed me. You know, I had other people that followed me and just seen, you know, the light in me. And they just kind of pushed me, like I said, to that limit that I know that I didn't have. I didn't know that I had.
They trying to take turns in the same order. So I did have a job at 16. It was survival. I was on AWOL most of my life, so I need to take care of myself in between. But at 18, I was only doing it to meet the requirements of the transitional housing program. I hated, I worked at Forever 21 and the warehouse shoe sale at the same time, and it's just because I wasn't in school and I didn't think I was smart enough for college, so I'm just doing what I gotta do to survive as usual. When I got Prego, then it was kind of like, oh, I'm about to get kicked out of the transitional housing program. So I got to figure out something else. And back then, before AB 12, we didn't really have enough bids to accommodate the influx of children coming, aging out of foster care. So I knew that I was going to be homeless really soon. But like I said, I had been linked through transitional housing to a nonprofit who were very much so becoming very interested in the TAPE population, and they saw college as something that they wanted to invest in. So I tried college instead. The career path that I'm on right now, I don't know if this is my career path. It's something I've been doing going on 5 years next month. And child welfare as a career path is something that I know I'm gonna do for the rest of my life, work in child welfare. I don't know about these things. So, but yeah, when I discovered that this is where I was gonna be, I mean, dang, it's just you wake up one day and you're still here, you know, I'm just like, so, I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. But, it's just, a lot of people told me that I needed to walk in the shoes of the people I was judging. The system that I wanted to tear down, like I needed to really understand what the challenges were and what the obstacles were. And it's like I always share, it's been very humbling. I failed a lot. I've had experiences where because of bureaucratic reasons and other policies or humans in my, job, I haven't been able to do a good job by my children and families, and I feel like I love them the most. So being able to go through those challenges and have those struggles and fail, at this job, I think it has kept me here, wanting to see what can I do now to make those barriers and boundaries less powerful to social workers, and having opportunities like this kind of makes being at the department more meaningful while we work that out. But yeah, I'm just here chilling, for the most part.
Maybe your passion is mental health, DMH?
Public speaking, advocacy, policy.
It's just a selfish plug.
I think for me at 19, was when I got laid off from being a youth worker. That was back in 2008, 2009. I was there for a year as a youth worker, but as I got older and I started doing a lot more volunteer things, one of the things I remember doing before I even got the job at Starview as a mentor was the different people in different organizations I was working with taught me how to build relationships, and also how to show these relationships off to the youth that were, come forward. So once I got to Starview as a mentor, I learned how to build relationships with people that kind of meant something to me. So all the therapists and supervisors and different people that I had met over the years in all departments everywhere, it just showed me how to build a good relationship with these people, because you never know what may come back around in the future. Somebody, hey, I remember I met you at such and such, and do you want a job, or do you want to do this, or do you want to do that? Kind of why I'm here right now. But it's I think just wanting to have a job and just build really good relationships has been like the key from even 18, 19 to now the last 10, 15 years. It's been about
Thank you. How did you realize your potential to help other people?
I think when I first became a camp counselor, when I was doing UPAC with the Sheriff's Department, and I was 17 at the time. That's when I knew that as a camp counselor, having the responsibility of 8 to 12 kids, they were younger than youth, they were under 15, having the responsibility of them and seeing how they kind of were like, follow the leader type of thing. Not like I was the drill sergeant or anything, but I was really just hey, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to make sure everything is intact. That was kind of the start to get me to be where I am now. And like I said, for the last 15 years, that's kind of what I've been doing. But I knew it then, this is interesting, but this is kind of easy at the same time for me. So as time has gone by in different capacities, different events, different organizations, it's just become easier and easier. I'm like, I can see myself doing this for the rest of my life. So I just knew it off the top of my head. Even now, I tell some of the youth, like, it's not even about the money, it's about me trying to help you out. It's about me trying to help you success and help you move forward with your life. Because you have the potential to do it, you just have to apply it. So yeah.
I'm gonna say for me, I worked with youth development services for a while, 14 years to be exact. I knew my stuff. I knew I was reaching kids. I knew that, that I was good at what I was doing. But then at some point I got bored. I needed a change. So of course I applied, for a position in health services as a community worker, senior community worker, last year, and I got the position. So that means leaving DCFS, I'll be working with chronic illness patients at the hospital, adults, So I went there, I was eager, I was like, yeah, I got this. I took all my skills with me from DCFS, got there and was like, this it? You know, I gotta work with adults. You know, they don't listen. And I just found myself bored there. Like, it wasn't a joy inside me. It wasn't, you know, that light, that drive, that I'm helping somebody to be better, you know. So, of course, I reached back out to my one and only, Mr. Odom, and said, you know what, you got another position for me? You still got my position? Because this ain't me. This ain't what I like. You know, I love working with kids. I've been working with kids forever. And basically, he brought me back. So I got back in February, and I love it. I love it. I will go places in DCFS, but not no time soon. You know, I love what I do. Like I said, I love making a difference. I love connecting with the youth. I love just, you know, just helping them to be successful.
I would say just people have always told me that I was a helper. And I remember my mom told me before she passed last year that when I was a little girl, before I became evil, that I used to go pray over people and touch them and help, you know, people walk out the door or assist with their bags. Like, I always kind of was drawn to people who were in need, you know, full of trauma. And I think I've always had a tremendous amount of empathy for people, and a lot of me wanting to tear down the system had more to do with me not wanting or wishing what I have suffered on anyone. Like, I would never hate anyone enough for them to know what I've been through. And so that's what probably makes me a really good helper, is keeping that core value in mind and keeping those memories a little bit closer. You know, I don't want to all the way heal and to the point where I forget what that felt like. So growing up, and even now, when I talk to the youth or even some of my parents, I haven't even given them a resource half the time. They're like, thank you so much. Like, I just really needed that. Like, I just needed someone to, like, you really helped me. You know, thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for sharing. You know, I meet so many people, they tell me, it don't seem like you've been through nothing your whole life. I said, me? I've been through HELL. You know, but the sacrifice that I'm willing to make for them makes them think I'm just completely whole, complete, and it didn't bother me. But it tortured me. And at 16, I knew that one day I was going to grow up and, you know, burn down DCFS. I knew it. You know, this is a form of burning. But I always knew, like, when I would look around in juvenile hall and doing the cavity searches and the checks, and I remember, you know, the group home, get your this, that, and all the names they called. I remember one day I'm gonna get y'all, you know, and this is the way I'm getting them, you know? So, yeah, I think I was born to be a helper.
This will be our last question, but I just want to point out to the three of you, I just met you, but I just think you are so amazing. And I really wish that you could see how far you've come and how much you have worked on yourself so you can help others. And all three of you have amazing leadership skills. So I just wanted to point that out. What are your thoughts about how we can help Tay and foster care reach their bigger life goals?
I was gonna say, start having conversations about them. You know, I love the part about the trauma-informed therapy is awesome. But come on now, like, we have to be able to maintain these jobs, keep a filter on, you know, be held accountable to somebody. We need to figure out how to reach our goals, because a lot of times that's what kind of keeps us going through the day-to-day things that we will have to cope with. We're still gonna have disappointments, we're gonna have shortcomings, our kids not gonna listen right. Things are gonna happen to us through our adulthood, and if we don't have that impeding goal or that, you know, end of the line, you know, outcome, then it's like, what are we doing this for? You know, why am I getting up in the morning? You know, because there's nothing about my past that would dictate that I can be something more. So I need you, you know, as the people who see a future to help me start visualizing that, help me start creating these ideas so that I can walk in that, day by day, so.
I'm gonna say bring back, rap sessions, just rap sessions so we can basically, just talk about what we need to do. Rap sessions, trainings, like we had in the past, so we won't forget.
I would say, two of the things that helped me get to this point, two programs that I remember going through with DCFS was E-STEP and the IOP classes. I still remember E-STEP.
$50 and $100.
Right. But I learned a lot. A lot of the stuff that was taught in E-STEP and IOP taught me how to be an adult when adult time came. So by 17, 18, I knew a little bit of everything, just how to grocery shop, how to budget, how to open up a bank account, how to use public transportation, how to even ask for job applications, even though everything's online now. Those two things taught me and showed me how to be an adult as a young adult, and because of that, I was able to teach that to young adults as I was still a young adult. So I was just passing information to my peers, especially the ones that weren't in care. The ones that weren't in the system, these were completely normal kids. They're like, oh, my mom or my dad never taught me that. I had to figure it out on my own. So those two things were essential in my childhood.
It was that book that had everything you needed in there.
Thank you very much. I wanted to leave some time for questions because I'm sure you probably have questions for these three people. Any questions? Yes. Did you have a question?
She doesn't.
Gotcha.
Are you available to mentor some of our TAE that we currently work with? Any of you?
Of course.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's what we do.
Is that a referral process, or do we just email you?
Just email. DCFS.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions?
I have a question for you guys. You guys are doing a great job, by the way. At the school sites that you guys were at, what would have been, or what was the most helpful thing that a school district, a school site, a counselor, a teacher, anybody at the school level did for you? Or what could be done at that arena, because you spend 8 hours a day there, that could have helped you maybe, or did help you accomplish what you accomplished, or maybe you felt would have been very helpful if it hadn't?
Well, I'm gonna say for me, back then, foster care, I was ashamed, so I wouldn't have shared with you at all. I was trying to hide for being that foster youth. So, yeah, for me, but if, times have changed, if we did have that liaison that we can just kind of talk to, rap with, just to see how I'm feeling at that time, it would have worked good for me, because at that age, 16, 17, I was going through a lot of problems, so.
Yeah, I think the culture has changed a little bit where foster youth maybe want to be a little more visible. But I used to hate having to get, Jessica has her therapy session again. And I used to have to walk out of class and go see Mr. So-and-so. It was very embarrassing because now everyone knew that I didn't have parents or that I was abused or whatever little sick stuff was going on in their mind, like something bad had happened to me. And I feel like it caused a lot of bullying to incur. So I like teachers who treated me like everyone else, send me to detention like everyone else. Don't pull me to the side. Start talking to me about being there. I know you're in foster here, Jessica. That was very helpful because I think that those are things that I was gonna have to learn how to navigate as an adult eventually, is being human. So yeah, for me, it's like, I like the teachers who didn't put me on blast or highlight that about me.
I remember, I was just having a conversation with my old worker about this a few days ago, how she sent my brother to come get me. He said, I'm coming to see you at your school. I said, I'm not coming. He said, okay. And they come, hey, somebody to see you, you need to go to the office. I'm like, are we in trouble? What happened? And then I go down to the office and find out it's Stacy. I'm like, oh, what happened? But I'll piggyback what Israel said. a liaison maybe once a week or something like that, just to check in, see how everything's going. I think that would be helpful, but also Jessica said they're a little more resilient and a little more open to it now than our generation was. So, yeah, I'll say like a liaison, maybe once a week. That'll probably work, yeah.
But they
They like self-select, you know, just knowing that it exists.
Other questions?
So I have a question, and this is for all three of you, and I really want you to really think about your answers, because this is an opportunity and one that we absolutely applaud each and every one of you guys. But given that you all now in some capacity work for the Department of Children and Family Services, which means, as Jessica mentioned, you know all of the red tape and everything around the bureaucracy, and you now understand a lot more than you did before. What, if anything, because you have a lot of practitioners in the room, you have many of our collaborative partners, a lot of the administrators are in the room. Now, where you sit, remembering back, what would you say to your social worker? And again, now that you know more about what it takes day to day and so on and so forth, because really we're trying to make a difference. As we move into Invest LA, we want to do this differently. We want to listen and we want to hear. And I believe you guys are our best assets.
I always have a lot on my mind. 90% of my job is not getting fired. Wow, I hated my social workers. I think I hated them before I met them though, so that might not be fair. Yeah. But my assumption is that you already read my file. So this is just working with the TAY population who kind of figured out that you know their business, they've had some experiences already, and the assumption is that you read my file, you know what happened to me with my parents, and you see my rap sheet. I've been AWOL, I've been this and that, I've been a bad person, maybe an unworthy person. So I really, really wish that they would just start the conversation with, hey, I don't know what you did yesterday, but I'm your social worker now, you know, so whatever happens between me and you, that's how we're gonna go forward. And that's how I kind of do my youth. I'm like, I don't care if yesterday you did this, whatever, we're starting brand new today. You can be whoever you wanna be today. And I think that would have gave me more opportunities to, because sometimes I want to be somebody different. I want to be good sometimes. I didn't always want to be the bad one. It was hard work meeting that expectation all the time. It was exhausting being bad, you know, but I didn't know anything else that I could be successful at or good at, and it was just like, oh Lord, you got just, they would tell each other, oh, you getting Jessica's case transferred to you? And it's like, ooh, you know, she this, that, she AWOL, and she's this and that, she's smoking weed, and they will meet me like, look, we're not gonna have that this time. We're not gonna be doing this and that. We're not gonna be coming out chasing you. If you want to AWOL, just AWOL. Ah, dang, I was gonna be good. You know? Give me a chance. But you know, and like I said, it took me to 18, unfortunately, and a whole pregnancy and a criminal court case to be like, ooh, help me, you know? Help. And that, I mean, that's unfortunate. But the truth is, I never had an opportunity to even try to start over because it was so overwhelming, those truths and those facts that people had against me. It was too much. So I think that would have been great to have an opportunity to start over.
And I think that's where the 80-12 come in at. That's your clean slate right there. Any 80-12 workers in here, you know, just give that clean slate, let them start over, you know, and give them the tools that they may not have. You know, that would help them. Don't expect that they know, because they probably don't. You know, they were AWOLing, disappearing, cussing each other out, cussing them out, acting crazy in the office. Give them that clean slate, because at 18, 19, and even 20, they're not what they were when they were 16, 17.
I would say just be sincere, you know, to them, but also be real and be authentic and be real, but be sincere all at the same time. And that's actually wear 3 different hats at once, but I think it works because, as I said before, I remember picking up bus passes at the Compton office and meeting a lot of folks in here when I was still in high school. And when I went on my interview earlier this year, coming into me, the clerk, I let all them know, like, I've completely transitioned into a man that has a goal and has a purpose, so having, not the letdown too, because a lot of people was like, we remember you, hey, I remember you were a kid, me and Israel still have those conversations from time to time, but just be sincere, be real, so be authentic and be true, because we can see faith from a mile away. That's it. Even now, it's like the youth now can see faith from a mile away. They know when you're being honest and when you're being real about it. So just remember to be that and be you.
And to piggyback off that means providing realistic expectations of what you're going to be able to do. Because I think some of us get a superhero sometimes. And once you start disappointing too much, they will stop coming to you for help. So let them know, I know they hate to hear it, but I do got 20 other kids and I'm gonna get you as soon as I can. You're important. And if you want, we can have a standing Tuesday, the first Tuesday of the month, and that could be yours. But don't tell me you're gonna be there for everything and that I'm always gonna show up. Because you're not. You have to, when my kids get sick, guess what? Remember, I told you I'd be failing. I'll come back to work with my phone with 24 voicemails getting cursed out. But my baby was sick.
That's right.
And I didn't go to work that day.
That's right.
I couldn't be there. And so I even tell them that when my babies get sick, they come first, Y'all my second family.
That's right.
I gotta take care of Jessica so that I can have something to give to you. I gotta take care of my babies and just whatever it is. And sometimes when they ask you, like, what do you think about this? You think I should apply to be? No, I don't. I think you should start here. And let's work together to get you to there. That's the task. But let's start. You know what I'm saying? So that's important.
I have one question for the three of you guys. Of the work that you've done today, what are you most proud of? Either that one case, if you could really synopsize it, what case or what work are you most proud of?
Today.
I would say at we had a youth at Starview at the Tate Center that was suicidal, and he was just going through the ropes, having problems and issues with literally everything for him to get accepted into an HBCU on full scholarship, and him come back telling us, thank you, you guys helped me to become this young man and have a complete vision of what I want to do, him to get accepted into college and come back and tell us thank you. We've actually had a couple of those youth come back and say, you guys helped me out a lot and you didn't even know it just because you guys were real and authentic, but you kept expectations to where I could meet them. So that was probably the best feeling to know that they were sincere and really grateful that we helped them to get where they were. From where they were at one point to get to where they are now, that was just, almost got me in tears. Like, I really did that for you. It made me feel good because I was just being myself. I wasn't trying to be a superhero. I was trying to be me. So.
Oh, and I forgot I was in a motion picture documentary about my life. That was released May 7th. I forgot I was important, y'all. On May 7th on HBO, Foster was released, and I got to share my story with the world. So now I don't even have to, I have this thing where I have to self-select who to tell and who to hide who I am from, because those judgments may hinder my opportunities.
That's right.
And I'm still trying to grow, y'all. Where Casey at? I'm trying to get over there, okay? So but now it's like it's out there. You want me or you don't? Do you want this? And so to me, I'm very proud that I've reached a level of confidence that I believe that I can create, regardless of what I've been, what I've done, what mistakes I make here today on the panel. Amen.
Amen.
Whoa. It was an opportunity that was given to us a few years back with working with the Heart to Place youth at the VIP Center. And that's where, a lot of things got real. Of course, I'm always working with kids that's success stories. Hey, I'm going to college, I'm looking for a job. But I was actually working with these youth for 2 years, the Hard to Reach youth, where, didn't nobody want to deal with them, no one. They kept AWOLing, they kept, just talking back, not just wanting to do what they supposed to do or do their program. Just being there and my spirit that I have, just understanding these stories that they were telling me and just watching them and being around them, I just felt like it was a sense of me being there for a reason. Of course, I had to pray before I went in there. I had to pray, like, Lord, help me. Let me find somebody. Let me help somebody. But then when I was in there, I didn't want to leave because they needed me, And I believe there, I know I may have captured a couple, not all, but a couple that actually, can say, Israel, help me. She listened to me. She took the time to talk to me. She took the time to, just give me what I needed at that moment. And that was it. That was it for me. That right there, I'm just thinking back, I'm sorry.
Don't make us cry.
I'm trying not to. But yeah, that's it. Lori?
Thank you very much. We want a round of applause for our three amazing